If my pants came down and my junk fell out and I danced around, would you dance with me? Anyways, so yeah, I want to talk about this. Dude, I'm sorry. Listen, my beef is not with Christians per se, because a lot of people have this idea that I am somehow I've like departed the faith and I hate, no, that is absolutely not the case. Listen, my personal belief on this is, as a Christian, you read your Bible, you read the words in red, which are the words that Jesus spoke, and then you shut the fuck up. That's basically what you do. Anything that goes against that is wrong. It's bullshit. So, okay, all your GOP talking points, yeah, no, fuck you. Because what happens is we're too busy looking over the fence at those damn liberals. Look at them, they're destroying America. Them and their socialism, they're destroying America. Destroying America. All the while Aaron Rand is coming up behind us giving us a reach around and we're too stupid to fucking see it. Okay, Aaron Rand is anti-fuck Christ, spirit thereof. You need to get right with Jesus, shut the hell up. Okay, but that's okay. That's alright. Christians don't see that. They just see, well, the GOP, they stand up for abortion. They stand up for, against abortion. They stand up against it. And it's, it's the abortion issue. Okay, fine. So you basically took the little fetus and you let it birth. And then after that, you basically said, fuck you, you get no health care. If your family's poor, we're going to cut your food stamps. If you're a piece of shit, if you need help of any kind at all, fuck you. But we let you live. Thank Christ. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me with that shit? I'll say it again. Are you fucking kidding me with that shit? You stand up for life, and then when life happens, you're like, fuck it. You're on your own. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Now, I'm sorry. That is wicked. That is evil, and that is wicked. Because, again, if an atheist were to ask me, why do you believe in God? The whole point of believing in God is because when I come to the end of myself, which is the point of our existence, we have to realize we can't do it on our own. That's the point of being a Christian. You can't do it alone. You can't do it on your own. You need Jesus Christ. Now, I can understand the logic of, well, Jesus isn't the government. Yes, but God does use the government. God gave us the government that we have, whether we like it or not. And here's a kicker. It isn't the government God wanted to give us. Okay? Especially if you read Ezekiel, I think it is. I want to say Ezekiel 16, but I could be completely wrong. Basically, the Israelites were like, we want a king, and then Samuel went into the back and was like, God, what the fuck? And God's like, don't worry, they're not rebelling against you, they're rebelling against me, so give them the king that they want and tell them to go fuck themselves. That's basically what he said. I'm paraphrasing right there. Okay, I'm paraphrasing. I'm phrasing basically. So, God will give you what you want, even if it is not the good thing. Even if it's not a good thing, He will give it to you. Okay? He will. Now, I have my personal belief, and I'm just going to say this, that Christians will want the Antichrist. Let's just say, for an instance, Trump is the Antichrist, because he does have Antichrist spirits. He does have if you look at characteristics of the Antichrist, he does fit the bill on quite a few levels, actually. Or like Obama really didn't. I mean, Obama was more, like, if you look at him with Israel, he was kind of standoffish. He wasn't, like, he didn't really care. It didn't seem like he gave a damn. Which, whatever. He was more standoffish. Where Trump seems to want to be, because there's this article from, 1983, I think? I want to say Vanity Fair or something, where he's holding a dove, and he's like, oh, let me go in there and get peace in the Middle East. That motherfucker's been trying to do that shit for decades. Then he goes over there preaching peace. Now, last time I checked, the Antichrist is going to come preaching peace. He'll be given a crown. He'll be of importance, like, a president or whatever. And he will be given a bow, pew pew, and he will go out and waging war. So guess what? He will preach peace all the while waging war. Now, what did he say he was going to do? He wanted to get the Saudis on board. He wanted to get the Israelis on board. And do what? Go to war with Iran. Okay, so that's not even... I'm not even making a stretch there. That's not like saying, well, is he really the Antichrist? Or you just don't like him? No, that's not even making a stretch. That's what he said. I mean, and it pisses me off. You got guys like Jim Baker on YouTube, and he had this video. YouTube popped it up for me, like recommended for some reason, and I said, well, shit, I'll watch it. It was a year ago. Now keep in mind, Obama was in office, and Jim's like, oh my God, the end of days, and Obama's going to destroy the universe. Yeah, oh my God, the sky is falling, and this Antichrist is coming. We're all going to die. A year later, Trump is in the Middle East saying, let's all come together as God's children, and we can work together, and we can destroy the terrorists, which seems like a good thing. It is, but guess what? Once you get rid of those guys, because there's two types of Muslims. There's basically the moderate douchebag Muslims, and then there's the radical douchebag Muslims. And what happens is you get rid of the radical douchebag Muslims, which I'm actually sort of rooting for ISIS in a sense, because if we eradicate them, let's just say we do, and we will at some point, what's left? Your moderate douchebag Muslims. Well, guess what? Your moderate douchebag Muslims are already on board. Saudis that he was over there talking to are terrorists themselves. So what you have is the extreme part is gone. You're left with this spineless backbone bullshit who's on board with your bullshit anyway. So now they've just kind of come along, and they're part of the mix, and they're part of the fold. They're part of the New World Order, I guess you could say. So now you've got this thing. I mean, really, when you really think about it, the only thing keeping our world the way it is, as in, I like to get up and I like to watch TV and I like to play video games and I like to read books and I just like to fucking live, okay? If you want to maintain that, you should be happy that ISIS is doing what they're doing, because guess what? The minute you take that element out, the minute you get peace in the Middle East, it's all the fuck over. We know from the Bible that it is a short-lived peace. It will not last. Okay, so you hear peace talks in the Middle East, guess what? It is not going to last. It will never last. And even if you don't believe in the Bible, guess what? Just reality says, guess what? You think peace in the Middle East is going to last? No. Now, when I say standing up for ISIS, I'm slightly being sarcastic. But seriously, at this point, and I admit, I'm saying that from a selfish point of view. Like, most Christians are like, oh, can't wait for Jesus to come back. But you realize that when Jesus comes back, we are literally all going to get our asses handed to us? I mean, you do realize that. As a Christian, you do realize that. We're going to get our asses handed to us, and we're going to be judged. Now, I don't know about you, but I've done some shit, and I'm embarrassed just to think about. Now you're sitting in front of Jesus and everybody, and it's like, hey, you jerked off yesterday. It's like, no, I don't need people seeing that. Especially, when I visited assiegrandmas.com. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, that's neither here nor there. I don't need a whole group of people seeing me at assiegrandma.com. Okay, I'm being sarcastic, obviously, but you know what I mean. And that ain't even the worst thing I've done. So I gotta be honest with you, I want to kind of put that off as long as I can. I understand judgment, it's pointed unto men wants to die in judgment, but I kind of want to put that off as long as humanly possible. I'm not gonna lie, and I admit it's very selfish. So like, if for some odd reason I made it to 80, yeah, I'm on my deathbed. Yeah, I want Jesus to come. Okay, fuck the 5-year-old, fuck the 10-year-old, fuck them. It's about me. I ain't gonna lie. So, yeah, I'm being selfish when I say that. So, But seriously, if you kind of like your lifestyle and kind of don't really want it all to go to hell in a handbasket, now the only downside is there's a 7-year period, so we gotta kind of live through 7 years. Now, I pray to God that there's a fucking rapture 7 years before, but I don't see where in the Bible it actually says, oh yeah, 7 years before. I don't see that. It doesn't say that. That's wishful thinking. You got some 18th century guinea white homo preacher who's like, oh wow, that's going to happen 7 years before. And then everybody picked up on that. And it doesn't, no. That's not what the verses actually say. Because again, you look at the Bible, where does it, when has God ever taken anyone out 7 years? Or 7 minutes? Again, for the sake of this clip, I mean, Lot was not taken out 7 years before. His family was not taken out 7 years. They weren't even taken 7 minutes. I mean, the decree of don't look back or you're going to get fucked up. That happened. Okay? They were fleeing and their asses were getting scorched. Okay? You know, Noah, he wasn't 7 years. He may have been notified 7 years or whatever, but he wasn't taken out of the situation 7 years. I mean, he's closing the boat doors and the rains are coming down, okay? He was in the middle of that shit. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they weren't taken out of the fire 7 years before. They were thrown in that sumbitch. Okay? The whole 9. God has never done it. Yet all of a sudden, the magical church, the magical bride, he's going to take the bride. You know what? The bride is a whore right now. The church right now is a whore. Now, you got two variants of the church. You got the Christian variant and you got the Catholic variant. They're both whores. Okay? This church right now is an apostate fuckery. Okay? You got it run by Jim Bakker. Which, listen, I like Jim Bakker, and I'm pissed with him because he needs to get it right. All the shit that he's been through in his life, but he wants to saddle up with these prosperity doctrine assholes and that, what's her face, White, whatever the fuck her name is, that stupid bitch, and all these other guys. And they want to go into this, oh, give us your last dollar so that we can have a water slide and a jet to fly around it. Because, yeah, it's not like they're, our brethren being beheaded in third world countries and shit. Okay, there are Christians being beheaded for the faith, but God wants you to have a water slide, Jim. Fuck you. Are you kidding me? And Paula White, that's her name, riding around in a fucking jet. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me with that shit? Are you fucking kidding me? There are people being beheaded for the faith, and you're riding around in a jet like a schmuck. Yeah, of course these guys love Donald fucking Trump. Of course they do. He's all about the money. What are they all about? The money. They're not about Jesus Christ. They want to throw Jesus. See, Jesus Christ is more of like a garnish to their meal of woe. That's what he is. He's not the main course. It's not like you're going listening to that bitch talking about Jesus. No, her main goal is, oh yeah, send me your fucking money so I can, parade around like a stupid whore. Okay. So, the church in and of itself is bullshit. And I don't know for the life of me what Franklin Graham's fucking game is. I don't get him. I didn't know he was in with the freaking prosperity gospel doctrine people. Now, either he's just plain stupid, because he did kind of rally around Bush, too. Because, Bush was going to be great. Bush was going to be... He has got... See, the problem is, the GOP bullshit has infiltrated the church, and it has turned it into an apostate piece of shit. A rancid, rectal piece of filth. Okay. Now, you look at the Bible when it talks about the bride's going out for the lamp oil. Well, guess what? The bride now, she don't even know where the fucking lamp oil is. Okay, she's bathing herself in that shit. She's rubbing it on her titties and shit. Okay, she's a whore. Okay. I mean, the bridegroom coming and she's rubbing the oil on her titties. They're like, what the fuck? And she's going to get lost in the dark. Is what's going to happen. That's exactly what happened. And I don't know what to make of that. I really don't. I said at the beginning, if the words that Jesus spoke that are in red do not line up with your GOP talking points, you need to get right with God. Okay, because what happens is you have too many Christians who want to be political. Well, guess what? Living a political Christian life is not the same as living a Christian life. Because what happens is the political bullshit comes in. Really, you think cutting stuff for people who are poor is what God wants? Well, God doesn't want the government to take my money. Well, first off, when did it become your money? When did it become your money? Last time I checked, it was God's money. See, that's the problem that I have with all this. We're told in church, we've been told for years in church, whether it was Sunday school, whether it was big boy school, whatever the fuck school it was, every time we went and sat in a freaking chair or a pew or whatever the fuck it is you sit in, we had chairs because we couldn't afford pews because we were cheap. Whatever the hell you sat your ass on, they said every single solitary time, it's all from God. Everything you get is from God. That includes the government. And yes, that includes Donald Trump. God gave me Donald Trump, even though I think he's fucking stupid. That's neither here nor there. Now, I think personally the reason he gave me Donald Trump is because all these other nitwits wanted to fucking idiot. And God's like, sure, fine. You don't want to follow me? You want to follow the money? Fuck you. Here's some money. Here's Donald Trump. He's all about money. Fuck you. On your way to hell, you sons of bitches. But that's just my personal opinion. It's probably true, but that's okay. It's alright, whatever. But no, seriously, we were told it's not your money, it's God's money. God gave it to you. God ascended from heaven. It ascended from heaven. You didn't work for it. All those 40-hour weeks you put in for your boss, yeah, you didn't work for that. God gave it to you. That's what they told us. Of course, that was right around offering time when it was like, yeah, it's not your money, it's God's money. And then all of a sudden, it's, Monday morning, it's like, it's my money, I worked hard for it. Well, who the fuck did God give it to you, or did you work really hard for it? No, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this as a matter of fact. I do not believe beyond a shadow of a freaking doubt that when God jettisoned Adam and Eve from the garden, kicked their asses out, gave them little leaves and put it on their crotch and said, get the fuck out, I don't think it was so that they could revel in the stink of their brow. Okay, and be like, I pulled myself up by the bootstraps, I did it without you, God. Look at me. I planted some crops, yeah. I don't think that was the point. I don't think they were supposed to revel in their fucking bullshit. I think it was a punishment. Okay, I think that's what God said. Eat by the work of your brow. In other words, you will have to do it on your own now. Basically, he said you'll have to do it on your own. But to sit there and say, I did it on my own, I'm so great, look at me, oh, great. That is not godly. That is not godly. Now, the thing that's pissing me off... Now, okay, yes, it was CNN, fake news. Okay, but they had this little round table thing where you had a bunch of Trump supporters sitting there, like a bunch of jackasses that they are, and Allison Camerata was asking them questions like, what grade do you give Trump? And all of them were like A's and B's, and one chick had a C, and they're like, oh, why don't you like him? And blah, 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 blah. And the one guy who gave the A+, thought it was the greatest thing ever, was... well, because I like the Religious Liberty Bill, and I'm 70 years old, and blah, 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 blah. Well, you're a fucking moron, blah, 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 blah. You're an idiot. Because that religious bill, first off, it isn't a bill. It was an executive order. And by the way, just for the record, the Obama executive orders, you know what executive orders are? They're nothing. They're nothing. They do nothing. This idea, oh, he's a king. He was a king. He's changing the law. No. What these are... it basically says, yeah, the existing law, let's enforce it. Let's enforce it. That's basically all it is. You enforce the law. Okay. So what Trump did with this religious bill, I keep saying bill, this religious executive order, was nothing. He did nothing. It does nothing. It protects nothing. If you read it, go and read it. If you read it, what it says is basically your freedom of speech. Have at it, Hoss. That's basically what it says. Go for it. We already have the freedom of speech, stupid. It does nothing. It does zero. Read it and you will understand. It does nothing. It basically says that no religious group can be told what they can and can't say, which is already there. It's already the law. All this was pomp and circumstance to get the Christians all giddy and, oh, he's doing it for us, guys. Oh, that's all it was. It literally doesn't. Now, if he'd done like a bill, now that would be some scary shit, because what happens with a bill is they can tweak it. And now, if you actually, what's interesting is if you read this executive order, it sort of hints, and I say sort of, kind of, maybe hints, that the term religious group can be expanded. Fuck my phone. Can be expanded into other groups. So let's say they tweaked it just enough. If it were a bill, let's say it were a bill, not just some random bullshit. Let's say it were a bill. They could tweak that so that gays are now considered part of a group within the religious, not necessarily religion per se, but it could be a group in general. Because it doesn't have to be just religion. It can be a group under that. They could easily tweak that. And it does sort of suggest that it doesn't necessarily have to be religious. It can be, you know. So, for example, if you're a Christian, you say, I don't agree with homosexuality. Now you've just bullied them. Okay, now that's again if they tweaked it, assuming it were law. But let's take it the way it is. Let's just take what he said the way it is. Now, they're like, oh, I want Trump to stand up for my Christian beliefs, Well, guess what? This is not a Christian bill. Or, goddamn, I keep saying bill. This is not a Christian thing. It is a religious thing. A religion is vague. It's broad. It means nothing. So guess what? If you're a Christian and you're like, I don't like the Muslims, I don't agree with their beliefs, you've just now bullied another religious group. Now, if this had been a law, there would be consequences to such thing. So, guess what? You're lucky it wasn't a law. Because next time, it could be a law. Because what's interesting, the Bible says that the Antichrist will be given power to wage war against the saints. Now imagine if this had become a freaking law. So not only that, but they kind of over-encompass that basically if you bully anybody, you're going to hell. You're basically, they're going to arrest you or shoot you or kick you in the dick, whatever they're going to do. Now you're a born-again Christian. You're at the pulpit and you're like, I don't agree with homosexuality. I just don't, I know, personally, I don't like it. I think, ugh. Okay, I don't get it. Saddling up next to another dude, it just doesn't float my boat. Okay. Now, I've just bullied a bunch of people because I didn't like it, apparently. Now, I'm being sarcastic, obviously, but you get my point. This is a very dangerous freaking bill. Or potential bill that could have... I mean, they could easily do that in the future. Again, I'm not necessarily saying Trump is the Antichrist per se. But he does share certain aspects of it. I mean, shit, dude, look at his freaking penthouse. He's got Apollo and shit. Now, Apollo, same as Abandon, Ball, all these other assholes. Now, my personal belief, and this is all I'm going to say is my personal freaking belief, is that they're all the same dude. Because they all came around the same time. Because it's kind of ironic that everybody at roughly the same time, we're all building pyramids. I think it all hinges back to Tower of Babel. Everybody came together. They wanted to wage war against God. Why did they want to do that? Because Noah's grandson, Nimrod, who was an idiot, wanted to wage war against God because he was butthurt, basically, about the idea that there's a God who could open up the heavens, open up the windows of heaven, whatever the fuck that entails, and dump water on everybody and kill everybody and flood the world. Okay, so he wanted to build the tower up there to basically go kill God and take over. And once God set in the whole Babel part of it, okay, they all dispersed. And it's ironic that once they dispersed and went every which way, scattered to the four fuck winds, everyone on the four fuck winds, they started building pyramids and worshiping some dude, whether it was Baal, whether it was, you know, Apollo, whoever. Now, granted, whatever. But you can easily make the connection that they're essentially the same dude. They are essentially the same guy. They are the savior of that moment from all around the world. Now, maybe the times are a little, but they're roughly the same idea. Now, I'm not saying they're exactly the same idea, but whatever. That's just whatever. But Trump has Apollo up on the ceiling, okay, and he has pictures and shit of, like, his whole place is decked out in gold. You understand it? No, hear me. His entire penthouse is decked out in fucking gold. Like gold-plated chairs, gold-plated everything. The whole thing is just gold. There's mirrors and there's this weird occultic shit. It just looks weird. Okay. And all these fucking nitwits are like, oh, he's doing it for us, guys. He's doing it for us. He gave up his billions so that he can become president to do it for us, guys. Click like and share. You're a fucking moron. You're an idiot. I mean, I want to befriend. I literally want to defriend you on Facebook. You're such a nitwit. I mean, seriously. Honest to Christ, you can't be that fucking stupid. That guy's a rich asshole. He doesn't give two shits about you. What did George Carlin call him? A rich cocksucker. Exactly what he called him. Not Trump personally, but rich people in general. I mean, you understand, if you're not rich, you're not playing the game. You're not in the game. You are not part of what's going on. You're not an elite. You're not part of it. So guess what? You're 9 to 5. All you are is just grunt workforce. You're basically a monkey. They don't give two shits about you. I mean, there is zero freaking reason that places like Walmart couldn't raise minimum wage. They're making billions of dollars hand over fist every second, okay? And you're telling me they couldn't raise the minimum wage even slightly? Even slightly? Now, I can understand, like, okay, maybe small business. Yeah, small business would have a problem. But a company that's making billions and trillions of dollars every fucking day, they could be doing a hell of a lot more than what they're doing. But yet, who gets the tax breaks? Well, everybody gets a tax break. Yeah, you get about 15 cents. They get about 15 million. Okay. No, seriously, I think the Walmart group, they get like 22, I want to say almost 202, I almost want to say billion. I could be wrong on that. It's either 22 million or 22. It's some outlandish fucking amount of money. It's probably a million. And what do you get? What do you get? About 5 cents. I mean, whatever the actual numbers are. But it's all under the, oh, everybody should keep more of their own money. The only problem is, you got no money. You can keep it, you ain't got it. Think about that. You got no money. You're working 9 to 5, paycheck to paycheck, week to week. And if you get sick and like miss one paycheck, you're fucked, okay? How many people live like that? How many hardworking Americans live like that? And what do they say? They say you're lazy. Because you should be a millionaire too. You know? You're working for somebody else. Shit, you should be working for yourself. You don't have the entrepreneurial spirit. You're not out there doing it yourself. You're not pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. You're just kind of getting along to get along. Okay? That's how they view you. But yet, they don't... Shit, actually, sometimes they do come out and say that. But then they paint it as well as the poor people. We don't like the poor people. The poor people, because they're just lazy. You know, they're just lazy. Yeah, sure, okay. You know, somebody working 2 jobs. Yeah, they're lazy. Yep, they're lazy. I mean, come on, man. It's not about being lazy. I mean, I don't want to get involved in that, but that's a story for another time. But honestly, sometimes these Christians just irritate me. They do. They bug the bejesus out of me. And like I said, I don't know what Franklin Graham's game is. I really don't. Because, I mean, I used to respect them to a degree, or because obviously I was, a Christian and didn't know any better. But then you start hearing what they say and what they do, and it's just, what? Where the fuck they go off the rails? I don't understand where Franklin Graham is coming from. He's all up on the jock of Trump. Is it just because he's got an R next to his name? That apparently is it, because he loved Bush, too. He loved the Bushes. Oh, he loved the Bushes. He got a little hand in the bush. Okay. I don't know what his problem is, but he... But again, he narrows it down to, oh, those damn liberals. Well, guess what? First off, I don't understand why Christians get butthurt over the concept of socialism anyway. The fuck do you care? First off, we're told this is not our world. This world is run by Satan. That's what we're told. So who gives a fuck what Satan does? If Satan wants to give everybody everything and make them lazy, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? And let's be honest. What's worse? Having money handed to you so that you can go live your life and do what you want to do, or being like a hamster on the wheel and just go to work, come home, have your dinner, go to sleep, wake up, do it all over again, every day, over and over and over, and just be a puppet over and over and over again? Which is worse? Seriously, which is worse? You're going through the grind. You're not getting anything out of it. You're basically getting just enough to live. Everybody else is getting richer around you and above you, but you're getting shit on. Or you just say, guess what? Money doesn't matter, and I go and, do what I want to do. Live my life. I mean, it's gotten to the point where people can't even retire anymore. They have to be dead before they can retire. Which means their entire life has been wasted. Now think about it. Every time you go to work, you're wasting your life, because you're not engaging in God if you're a believer. Okay, you're not doing what you want to do. You're not doing the things that make you happy. You're making other people happy. But you're doing it for your family, which is a noble thing. But again, your entire life is basically just working for the man. Now again, which is worse from a godly point of view? Working within the satanic system, or, now I'm not saying go out and just be a painter and be like, oh, I'm living the dream, I'm on welfare. I'm not saying that, but I don't understand why Christians get so butthurt over the concept. I don't. I can understand why conservatives get butthurt over it, because, boo-hoo, they feel they're owed something. See, that's another thing. If you're a conservative, you feel you're owed something. Like, how dare they take my money, my hard-earned taxpayer dollars? How dare they? I don't know, would you rather grandma get a loaf of bread, or would you rather Pakistan get another $1.2 trillion? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that question. I mean, whatever. But seriously, when you really think about it, from a Christian point of view, why do we get so butthurt over that? First off, the Ten Commandments: thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's shit. So, okay, yeah, let's say somebody is poor. Let's say they are on food stamps. Stop coveting what they have. You're not owed anything. They're not owed anything. You're sitting there, well, they're buying lobsters with it. They're buying lobster, packages of lobster, $8 a package of lobster on food stamps. What the fuck does it matter to you? Well, I worked really hard for it. I really worked hard for it. Yeah, but I thought the money was from God. I thought that money came from God. I didn't know. I didn't know you worked hard for it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know you did it on your own without God. I mean, again, the whole point of God is that when we are out of strength, He is our strength. Once we come to the end of ourselves, He is there. Apparently not if you're GOP. God doesn't mean anything. We are doing it on our own, in our own strength. That's wicked, dude. That is completely wicked from a religious point of view. Yet you got Christians throwing it up, just throwing it up at you. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe there's a wall, a Donald Trump fucking wall between reality and Sunday morning. Maybe Sunday morning we're supposed to be like, oh, Jesus, Jesus loves me. This I know, for the Bible told me so. And then on Monday morning, fuck those stupid poor people. They're taking our money. Fuck them. I don't know. Maybe there's a divide there. I could be wrong on that. I was always under the impression you're supposed to live your life as your faith dictates. You know? I was always told that Jesus, we are supposed to be Christ-like. We are supposed to be like Christ. In other words, He is our example. Okay? For example, the woman at the well. Did He go up and yell? Seriously, did he walk up and see the woman at the well and yell out, "You fucking whore! You fucking whore!" No. He didn't. He didn't. Who did He condemn? He condemned the religious leaders who picked up the stones. Okay. Now, when we, as Christians, look at gay people, we can't sit there and take our Bible and say, hey, gay guy, boom, smack him on the fucking head with it. I mean, literally, we're literally beating homosexuals with our Bible. And say, God said no. You bastard. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? That's how people treat it. But again, look at Jesus' example. Did He condemn the woman at the well? Absolutely not. Who did He condemn? Those who had picked up stones. Ye without sin cast the first stone, go fuck yourself, is what He said. And what they do, they dropped the stones and walked away because they were convicted. Well, I mean, not convicted, but they were basically they were played. They were treated like shit. They were told, you're a fucking idiot, go figure it out, and they realized they were fucking idiots. They were served, I guess the kids would say. So, whatever. But seriously, that's how we treat people. Like, my sin is somehow worse than yours? Or yours is worse than mine? But yeah, it's always easier to see other people sin. What's the Bible say about the mote in your eye and the beam in, the mote in your brother's eye? Like, how are you supposed to take the speck out of your brother's eye when you got the beam in yours? Now think about that. None are righteous, no, not one. So to sit there and say, well, that's just as bad. That's a sin in of itself. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to take of that, because again, they say one thing on Sunday morning and then they do something completely different the rest of the week. And I'm supposed to sit there and try to make... Because I'll tell you, one of the worst things I ever did in my entire life was take Bible college. I swear to Christ, it's the worst thing I ever did. Because I know what they say. I know what they believe. I know what... And I say they. I shouldn't say they. Me. I know what I believe, and I know... Well, I know what they say during Sunday morning service, and then I know what they say in the political realm. And what they say in the political realm is a complete 180 of what they say in church. And don't tell me it's not. You cannot tell me that the GOP talking points are bullshit and idiocy of, oh, let's save the fetus and then we'll take away healthcare for 24 million people. Yeah, that evens out. Sure, at least the fetus is safe. It'll just grow up into a horrible fucking life. Probably in a foster care somewhere, getting raped by some guy. Yeah, that's much better than just ending its life at, while it's, instead of blinking his black eye. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, sure. Yep. At least we saved it. Woo, at least we saved it. It'll have a lifetime of hell and heartache, but that's okay. Nobody will be there to give a fuck. I don't know, I got a problem with that. Now, yeah, is it cradle to grave? From a Jesus point of view, it is cradle to grave. Okay. Well, the government shouldn't be their cradle to grave. Okay, but what if God uses the government as His vessel, as His vehicle for provision for other people? So what if you have a Christian who is being helped through the government by God, And you're sitting there disparaging that. How dare you disparage God's provision for somebody else? All because you think you're owed something. I ain't owed shit. Okay, I don't know about anybody else. I'm not owed a damn thing. Okay? So to sit there and say, well, I did it. I worked hard. I deserve this. You know what you deserve? You know what the Bible says you deserve? A, to shut the fuck up, and B, hell, essentially. That's what you deserve. The wages of sin is death. Okay? And for you to be self-centered and stop worrying about, other people and start worrying about yourself, that's self-centeredness, you're going to hell for that. Or you deserve hell for that. We all do. We all do. But again, people don't make a distinction between Sunday morning and the rest of the week. How are people supposed to live it if when they're actually given the opportunity to live it, they completely go 180, and then the pulpit, not only does the pulpit collectively, as the American church, the church collective, not even just America, but in other countries too, support that. They support you going 180 from what they said Sunday morning. I don't understand that. For the life of me, I don't get that. We are supposed to live what we preach daily. Okay? We are supposed to ask for the renewing of the Holy Spirit to give us strength every second of every freaking day. Yet we don't do that. We play Jesus on Sunday and then asshole on the rest of the week. And don't tell me we don't. I see born-again Christians who are political. And I see the shit that they say. And I see the ignorance that they spew. And it pisses me off. It legitimately pisses me off. Because it's us versus them. It's, we're the Christians and we're on the GOP side because they stand up for abortion and the gay rights and stuff. But those damn liberals are looking over the fence, and they're damn liberals. They're trying to destroy America. So what? So what? Newsflash, America is the beast. Who can wage war against the beast? Well, newsflash, motherfucker. Name me one country at all that has over 800 bases worldwide. Scattered throughout the world. Name me one. Name me one who spends the amount of trillions and billions on freaking defense than any other nation combined. Name me one. Oh, yeah. By the way, that's us. That's us. Who can wage war against the beast? Because he's an asshole. Okay. Can you wage war against China? Absolutely. Can you wage war against Russia? Absolutely. Can you wage war against us? No. You can't. We will annihilate you. And then what's Numbnut want to do? What's Trump want to do? Wants to cut all these freaking programs that help people who are legitimately in need, and he wants to dump it all into military. He was given a bow to go make war. What's he want to do? He wants to take the strongest military in the history of the universe and wants to fucking make it even stronger because, yeah. And the idiot then comes out and says, well, I remember when we were kids, we used to win wars. Name me one war we haven't won, asshole. Well, except Vietnam, although technically we did win that. The assholes didn't just go in there and finish it, but that's neither here nor there. Aside from that, name me one war we didn't win. Ooh, in Iraq. Dude, we won Iraq in 3 days. The only reason we took 3 days is because it took that long to drive the tanks across the countryside. That's it. Where we fail is rebuilding. We completely decimated Iraq. We did. We completely ruined it. As far as the war, we won that shit. We showed up and like, hey, and the war was over. The war was over. Like I said, where we suck is rebuilding. I'm sorry, it should not take 15 years for the American troops to teach the Iraqis, gee, it's not cool to go rape and murder your own people. Okay, shouldn't take 15 years to do that. But apparently it does. So, hey, whatever, cool. But honestly, are you really going to come at me with that bullshit? You're really going to throw that bullshit at me? Honestly? We propagate bullshit as Christians. We do. Because, I'm sorry, there's one verse that I really have a hard time believing true. Now, I believe it's all true. Even the stuff I can't understand and stuff that doesn't make sense, I believe the Word of God to be true. Now, Jesus said something that I really have a hard time with. He said, the world will hate you because of me. Now, the problem is, the world doesn't hate Jesus. It doesn't. It does not hate Jesus. It doesn't. Now, I'm sure there's some groups who are like, I hate Jesus. Okay, fine. There might be a couple groups that hate Jesus. But collectively, the world doesn't hate. Even the Muslims don't hate Jesus. I mean, Jews do, but Muslims don't. They're like, he was okay, but, Muhammad's cooler. Okay. Which is ironic considering Jesus is like, oh yeah, I'm God. You've seen me, you've seen God. So Muhammad's a step up from that. How do you become a step up from God? That proves it's Luciferian. But that's neither here nor there. We won't get into that. But it's like, whatever. I don't want to talk about that anymore. And all we do, we just sit there and we spew bullshit. Because when God said, or when Jesus said, the world will hate you because of me, that's not true. That is not a truthful statement. The world hates Christians because they're fucking stupid. We are stupid collectively. We are stupid. When it comes to science, we can't explain shit because we're stupid. We are. Now, I'm sorry, but if you read Genesis, it makes sense. It does. If you understand how the universe works, and I'm talking from an atheist point of view, the gases and everything, the way it all forms and blah, 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 you read that, it goes right along with that. Now, the verse, I think it's either Genesis 1 or Genesis 2, and I think it's verse 11. Now, if you followed along, basically you have this rock that's all fucked up and volcanic and blah, and it's forming and it's settling and everything's kind of, Then all of a sudden, verse 11, it's like, oh, and it was green grass because God willed it. Now, okay, I'm going to be honest, as a Christian, that's not good enough. I take it by faith, but it ain't good enough because everything from that point you could say, okay, I could see that, it makes sense, it's forming and blah blah blah, and it's settling, and it's things are coming into their own, and it is it's basically what everybody else wants to say it is. People who don't believe in God, evolutionists. Okay, so in other words, you got all these gases and shit that's forming, and it kind of swirls around in the ball and the thing, and it makes the planet. And there's volcanic and this, that, and the other. If they line up pretty well, fairly. I mean, if you get cute with it, it lines up pretty well. But then all of a sudden, like I said, green grass just bloop, and it's because God willed it. Now, what the hell does that mean? What in the balls does that mean? I have no idea what that means. But again, we as Christians, we don't understand science. And it makes us look stupid. Now, okay, we want to take it, it was done in 6 days. Okay, well, there's ways around that. No, not ways around, I shouldn't say it that way, but there's ways to explain that. Now, if we're talking, let's say we're talking multiverse. That totally works. Multiverse in 6 days works perfectly. It does. Now, just because we have a 24-hour time period here, day 1, day 2 may not have been 24 hours. The whole thing is, because everything's still settling and everything's still forming, not necessarily. But let's say multiverse is a thing. Well, guess what? In the very beginning, it was all dark and void, and God moved upon the face of the water, upon the face of the deep, so on and so forth, and God said, let there be light, and boom, there was light. Well, guess what? Now there's an alternate reality. There's a second reality. There's a reality that exists where it's all dark. There's nothing. Now there's one where there's lights and stars and shit. Okay? And then every single day of creation is a new alternate reality. Now those realities could last billions and trillions and gazillion years. It doesn't matter. Right there, that puts the two on the same even level. You could easily make that argument, assuming multiverse is a thing. And a lot of people believe it's possible. Well, then guess what? Every day of creation is just a new alternate reality. Now, what I think of it more of like tracing paper. Like if you were to draw a Tom and Jerry cartoon, and Tom would kind of reach down and open up his paw and then grab Jerry and bring him to his mouth. Okay, well, every one of those is every second is basically a new picture. You have to basically take each hand and a little further, a little further, a little closer, open the hand, grab, pull, and bring him to the mouth. Now, it takes like, what, a second and a half in real time, but it takes like 60, 70, or 60 pictures, 60 frames per second, essentially. So it takes at least 60 to do a second. So you have like a half-an-hour cartoon. That's a lot of freaking drawings. Well, what they do is they use tracing paper or a light box or whatever. But let's say tracing paper. So in other words, you got your base character. You put a piece of tracing paper over it and make it a little bit different. That's your alternate universe. And you do another tracing paper over top of that. You got it slightly different there. So the hand moves a little bit each time. But everything else stays the same. That's how that's kind of how I view it. It's like tracing paper. And you could easily make that assumption. Now, what I think happened, from a biblical point of view, is that when we fell, not only did we... I think there were... Well, I'd have to think about this a little bit more, but if I'm being honest, I think it was either... There was 7 days of creation. On the 7th day, God rested. But there was still that 7th day. I think what happened was the 7th day was the completionist day. And what happened is we kind of got set back to maybe layer 6. Now, I don't know to what extent. So, no, I think the Garden of Eden is on the 7th layer. So it's in like another dimension in a way. The way you can look at it. Because it's either that or it's in Antarctica somewhere and it's under the ice or some fucking shit. One of the two. But, I mean, the Bible does suggest that there was like a fiery sword or something, and an angel, and like, you can't cross into that, you can't cross the threshold. So it could be in an alternate dimension. It could. It'd be a whole other dimension. Which could explain why things are as fucked up as they are in this world. Where it's still a very beautiful world, but it's still fucked up. In other words, think about it. In your colon right now, there's war going on. Okay, there's literally a war being waged in your asshole, essentially. Think about that. But yet you're not privy to it. I mean, it's just there are battles being waged right now in your asshole, and you don't know about it because it's on another. Well, I almost want to say another plane of existence, which technically it is, but. A different layer. First up, you got the skin layer, you got the muscle layer, so on and so forth. So in other words, you go down further, it creates a bigger picture. Every layer, now think about it in a three-dimensional sort of holographic universe. Now if you're talking holographic universe, that's a whole other story. But very similar. So now you've got these layers of reality. Now imagine if we could go back to layer 1, which would basically be all dark. Now they have to coexist because the darkness is there. You look out in space, you see the darkness. It's still there, but there are lights over top of it. So a layer came over top where the lights were there. So in other words, and even still, if you take the Big Bang, there was darkness. It was the Big Bang. All of a sudden, shit started spewing out, and the next thing you know, you got your stars and shit encompassing this black area. So it's the same idea. It's the same thing. It works. It completely works. Now, it might be a little simplistic, but it works. Some people were debating whether white holes exist and black holes. And now, if a black hole takes in all the energy, it takes all the stars and shit and sucks up light, that energy has to go somewhere. Now, it either disperses, disperses, or it collects at the other end and then spats out the other end of it. Now, whether that's the other end of the galaxy or a whole other universe, an alternate universe. Now think about it. The white hole could be your Big Bang, where it just spews out energy, it spews out matter and bullshit from the other side of a black hole. So what we have here, everything that is matter, everything that exists here came from an alternate universe. Or your other layer, let's say layer 6 or layer 5. So let's say layer 5, everything that was there kind of spewed into this universe. Again, it works. It's a little questionable. Actually, no, it's not. It all works. All those theories kind of work together, and Genesis does kind of work with all that. Now, there might be a few issues here or there, like again, God willed green grass. Well, again, I'm sorry, because it's bothersome, because when you read it, you can say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Everything's forming, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, and then it just, well, no, that doesn't happen. It just doesn't randomly happen. Something had to engage that. It's like if all cells come from pre-existing cells, well, then where did the first cell come from? Like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, guess what? The chicken had to come first, because there's an enzyme in the egg shell that can only be produced by the chicken. So the egg couldn't have existed, because that enzyme wouldn't have actually existed until the chicken was. So the chicken had to be there. There had to be a starting point. That's the problem with evolution and everything else. There has to be a starting point. Now, it's infinitely more likely that God is just a terraformer who terraformed the planet and just, because that would explain how grass just, God willed it. He terraformed it. He's like, here's some grass seed, threw it all over the ground. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that's how it was, but God is a terraformer. He hovered across the deep. He hovered across the waters. And he terraformed the planet. He is a terraformer. He is. He terraformed the planet. Now, did he create the planet? In a way, he did. He created it into what it is. Now, see, that's weird, because when you actually read Genesis, there was stuff here before then, because he hovered over the deep. What is the deep? It says the water. It means there was water here. Did he create the water, or was it just here? I don't know. Now, he said, let there be light, and there was light. So obviously he created the light. Which, now there's that interesting shit where you can actually create matter out of light or some shit. I didn't quite get that, but that's really cool. I'll have to look that up some more, but matter creates light, or light creates matter, excuse me. Now think about that. Let there be light, and then it was matter. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that would work, but whatever. But yeah, there was this thing not too long ago where they were talking about how they were doing that shit. I do like the, the Wi-Fi through the light, where you have the little light bulb, or whatever the fuck it is, and you hook it up in your ceiling, and all of a sudden you get Wi-Fi. That's some cool shit. I'm not gonna lie. That's some wild shit right there. But, whatever, I'm getting completely off topic. But yeah, light can do some weird fucking shit. I mean, it can do some legitimate shit here. And if God is light, that means God can do some legitimate shit. So, I don't know. It's interesting when you think about it. Because even if you're an atheist, well, guess what? We know if light can create matter, however that works, I'm not as up on that as I should be. So I'm not going to talk about it much more than that. But they're theorizing or speculating that it can actually do that. And if light can physically create matter, then guess what? That's your God. Light is your God. God is light. The Bible says God is light. Okay, so even if you're an atheist, you don't even have to have God in the picture. Light created, I don't know. Although my biggest beef with atheists, though, I mean, you've been around how long on this earth? And it's like, well, I didn't see God. Yeah, well, you know what? I didn't see the Pope either, but I still believe he exists. You know? Like, I believe there's kids in Ethiopia who are dying right now that I've never personally seen or met, but I believe they're there. You know? So it's like, just because I haven't seen them in my few short years on this planet doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You know? I mean, seriously, I'm 40 years old. Have I seen wealth? No. But I believe it's there. Yeah. So it's like, okay. Well, I don't believe in God because, well, you know, whatever. I don't want to get into that, but but seriously, these Christians, it's just they say one thing and then do another. And like I said, the worst thing I ever did was take Bible college class. I hate saying that, but it's true. Because I know what is expected. Now, no man knows it as he should, and don't get me wrong when I say that, but I know what the words are, I know what the meanings are, I know what they're saying, and I know what they expect. And then I see them go off and do other things in the political realm that are not what they taught, and that pisses me off. And then I see guys like Jim Bakker and Franklin Graham, who should fucking stand that they're bullshit. What they're saying is bullshit. They should get that. But no, it's all about the GOP, GOP, GOP. Well, guess what, motherfucker? If Jesus came down from the fucking heavens right now, guess what? There is no GOP. There is no GO-fucking-P. The only political party you gotta worry about is the Jesus party. Fuck you. Okay, another thing, he's not gonna hand out guns, too. You can kiss my dick on that. When the kingdom comes, Jesus is not handing out guns. So you got these pictures of Jesus with their AK-47. You're a freaking idiot. You're an idiot. I'm sorry. That is completely ungodly. Oh, it's America. Freaking stupid. I'm sorry, but God has already rejected America. Jesus has rejected America. Seriously, what did he say? What did Christ say when he was being tempted? Satan showed him all the kingdoms of the world. And yes, I do believe that was past, present, and future. And he's like, get thee behind me, motherfucker. Get thee behind me, motherfucker. Okay, that's what he said. He already rejected that. His kingdom is the kingdom come, not the one that's here. And guess what? America is part of the satanic world system that we are supposed to hate. But yet, we're patriots. We're Christian patriots. Yeah. You know what that means? Do you understand what a Christian patriot really is? Other than being an idiot? You're essentially saying that I'm a Christian, but I'm of this world system, so therefore I'm a patriot of this planet, of this country on this planet. Because again, we're told everything is wicked and Satan and Jesus hates and blah, blah, blah. And we're all going to hell and sinful nature and blah, 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 blah. And this is a fallen world. But yet America's the beacon of hope within that horrible wreckage of reality. Seriously? Really? Honestly? You know, big Christian nation that has penises, that has Egyptian fucking penis monuments. Really? Seriously, that's a Christian nation? Our founding forefathers were 33-degree Masons. Are you kidding me? Reflecting pools. You got a fucking phallic penis statue in front of a reflecting pool, which is occultic. It is. That's how you conjure devils and shit. Whatever. Like those black fucking mirrors and shit, those are cool. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but if you stare into those fucking things long enough, your eyes start to see shit. It's weird. I was watching a YouTube video and it was fucking cool. It's like one of those things where you look at it and the pattern pops out. It's just like one of those, except it's more fucked up. Because you're not seeing just a little word like, hey, and the words, the letters pop out. No. This is like some weird. You get into like this trance kind of thing. I was sitting there watching the shit, doing it with the fucking guy. I was watching him like, oh. He's like, you start seeing shit. It's weird. It's this weird ass. No, granted, it may have been all fake, but man, you know, in your head or whatever. But still, it's creepy as shit. You start staring into those black mirrors and fuckers. Holy crap! I mean, seriously, that's how these fuckers did all that shit back in the day. All these seers and stuff. That's what they do. They look into that shit. Now you got a reflecting pool and you're looking into the thing. Oh, I mean, seriously, you stare at something long enough, you start seeing shit. Again, I'm not saying it was actually there, but you know, maybe it was. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. I was starting to see some weird fucking shit, and I was like, holy shit! And I had to turn it off because it was creeping me out. And you get that weird vibe in the room for the rest of the day. It's like, holy shit. Seriously. Weird ass stuff. Anyways, I won't talk about that. This is a whole other story. Cultic bullshit. But seriously, our Bride of Christ today has become nothing but a stupid old little whore. She has. And I'm telling you right now, this church currently, right now, deserves to go through Armageddon. And I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt, for my own personal, for my own personal safety, I really do hope there's a rapture pre-tribulation, but I got a bad feeling there's not going to be. Because this church needs to go through that. This church needs to be trial by fire, basically. This church, the Christian church, the Bride of Christ, right now, is not ready for Jesus, and that is a fact. Look at Franklin Graham. Look at Jim Baker. Look at Paula White. Look at all these fucking idiots. These prosperity gospel doctrine assholes. Okay. Yeah, God played a hand in Trump winning, but he's also going to play a hand in the Antichrist coming too. Okay? So keep that in mind. Keep that the fuck in mind next time you're sitting there, oh, God, God, God. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Right. Because I'm telling you right now, if the rapture does not happen, I'm going to tell you right now, there are some Christian believers who are going to be shitting themselves when they realize, oops, I was wrong. Because let's just say the rapture happens at the end. Let's say it happens at the very end. In other words, Christians in the church have to live through all of that. Because God says there will always be a remnant. There will always be a remnant. So if there's a rapture before the tribulation, 7 years, there will be a moment where there is no remnant. I have a little bit of a problem with that. But let's just say it doesn't happen. Now, what are believers saying today? Oh, it's all birth pangs, and oh, the birth pangs, and oh my God, end times are coming. End o' days are coming. Okay. Well, guess what? These idiots are going to be living through the tribulation and not even realize it because it's going to be birth pangs. And then all of a sudden you're going to see this schmuck, this asshole, let's say it is Donald Trump, go into the temple, sit on the fucking throne and be like, hey, motherfucker, I'm God. Fuck you. Worship me. Okay. And they're going to be sitting there like, huh? What? Where's the rapture? The rapture could happen any day. Now, they've been saying that since the 80s. To me, anyway. I mean, obviously they've been saying it longer, but I mean, I've been hearing that since the 80s. So, guess what? What if he doesn't come? What if it is, no, whatever. But It would serve the church right. It would serve these idiots right. I tell you that much. They have to live through that and to wake up and realize that, oh, gee, we're wrong. Because how is the world supposed to see Jesus when we are not promoting it? Look at how Christians treated Obama. How is the quote-unquote the Muslim Kenyan supposed to see Jesus when we treated him like shit? Now, all these Christians like, oh, we need to pray for Trump and his beautiful family and do. There were Christians who actually called the Obama children niggers. Do you understand that? Now, I'm not saying it's indicative of everybody, but the way Christians treated that family because of politics, because, oh, he's a socialist. First off, he wasn't a socialist. You know why? Because Republicans had control of the fucking House. So the purse strings belonged to the Republicans. So the idea, oh, he's a socialist. Yeah, he may be a socialist, but he wasn't going to get a socialist agenda passed, except for obviously the first 2 years. But once Republicans took over, he was no longer a socialist. Okay, people need to realize that. But that's neither here nor there. But listen, I'm sorry. How is he supposed to see the love of Jesus Christ when Christians treat him like shit? I mean, I'm sorry. That's bullshit. And then the fucking NRA puts his kids in a fucking ad of like, oh, what was that ad? I'm sorry, I was disgusted by it. What was that ad? It was something like, Obama's children have armed security guards, but yours can't. I mean, I'm sorry, that's bullshit. Especially when you got a bunch of white, racist, Confederate flag waving assholes who, I'm surprised they didn't try taking pot shots at the kids. I'm sorry, you don't put the children in the fucking ad like that. I don't care if it's the Bush, I don't say Bush girls, but that doesn't sound right. I don't care if it's George Bush's kids. I don't care if it's Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea's not the greatest looking chick on the planet. Fine. Okay. Guess what? Who cares? Burn Trump, leave the kid alone. Now, Ivanka wants to get involved. Okay, she's fair game. His other daughter, which apparently he doesn't want to sleep with her, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, it's weird. He only wants to sleep with Ivanka. He doesn't want to sleep with the other one. Or at least not openly. Yeah, you leave her the fuck alone. Unless she gets in politics and starts saying stupid shit. The two sons, who look like axe murderers, by the way, but that's okay. You know, hey, if they're not doing politics, leave them out of it. If they want to get cute and get into the politics, then they're fair game. That's the way I look at it. Chelsea wants to get into politics, then she's fair game. Because everybody's like, well, they treated Chelsea one way, and then they treated Bristol Palin another. Well, Bristol Palin got on social media and started spewing her stupid shit. She's fair game. The minute you get on there and start acting political and stupid, that you're fair game. Now, she's on there and like, oh, look at this, I have a new top today, and people are making fun of it. Okay, that's one thing. That's one thing. People making fun of what she's wearing or whatever. Fine. Okay, that's wrong. But leave the kids the fuck out of it. I said that from day one. I said that back in Bush W days. Leave the children the fuck, unless they get political. If they get political, then, like I said, fair game. But whatever. But seriously, these people. Now, I'm sorry. Trump is a creep. He was asked, what do you and your daughter, Ivanka, have in common? And he didn't even bat an eye. The first words out of his mouth were sex. Now, who the fuck says that about their daughter? Who in the balls says that about their fucking daughter? What do you have in common with your daughter? Sex. Are you fucking kidding me? And no, this wasn't like on some Howard Stern thing where it's like he wants people to talk like that and blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. But come on, man. The guy's a fucking pig. He's a pig. You don't say that about your own fucking kid. Oh, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her. That is disgusting. That's like incestuous. That's fucking incest, dude. Then you got Christians. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Grab him by the pussy. Well, yeah. Bullshit. Because you got this Kim Clement bullshit prophecies, and you got this, oh, it's the prophecy of Cyrus. Yeah, because I remember when Cyrus grabbed him by the pussy and wanted to have sex with his daughter. You know. Because, yeah, it's just like it. And then you got freaking Franklin Graham. Oh, Trump is just like King David. God uses flawed men. You know the problem with that? You know the fucking problem with that, Frankie? You know the fucking problem with that is the fact that David wanted to be used by God. Yeah, David may have fucked up, but he also had a belief in God. He had a love for God. Trump does not have love for God. He has love for himself. Okay? He has a love for ego, for himself. Okay? Don't tell me he doesn't. Oh, he's just a baby Christian. Dude, I'm sorry. Did he confess with his mouth that Christ is God and that he died for his sins and that he accepts that as a free gift? Did he do that? Yes or no? Well, he's a baby Christian. He didn't really understand our terms. What is there to understand? You cannot do it on your own. You need Jesus. That's it. What is there to understand? It's either yes or no. Well, no. Give me a break. And then they propagate this shit, and all you get these stupid evangelical assholes like, oh, Trump's a Christian now, yay, we can vote for him. Because we couldn't vote for Romney, because Romney was a Mormon. Ooh. You freaking morons. I'm sorry. People are stupid. People are legitimately fucking stupid. They're legitimately fucking stupid. I will say that again. They are fucking stupid. You talk about the great delusion? It's more like the great idiocy, the great stupidity. Now, I'm not saying I got it figured out, but I can definitely see Monday is one thing and Sunday is another. And I'm sorry. I don't understand why that's okay. I don't get that. Because it shouldn't be okay. You should live your life as Christ. You know, as him as the, you know, poster boy of perfection, literally. You know, turn the other cheek, the whole nine, give to the poor, the whole nine. Come follow me. Stop worrying about your physical bullshit and worry about the kingdom. Stop storing up treasures and idols here and start worrying about treasures in heaven. That's what his whole game was about. That's what Jesus was about. Don't worry about the here and now. The here and now will work itself out. I mean, the whole thing was trial by fire. Well, guess what? If my house burned up right now, the only thing that would survive is me and the dog, hopefully. Everything else is plastic and bullshit. Okay? None of it matters. The only thing that matters is me and the dog. That's it. Not my extensive comic collection. Not my extensive gaming collection. Not my extensive movie collection. Not my extensive whatever. Okay? It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. But yet, whoa, I worked hard for it. I did it. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. I deserve it. Again, the only thing you deserve is hell, motherfucker. That's it. You need to get right with Jesus. And you got Christians promoting that bullshit. And I'm sorry, Franklin Graham needs to grow the fuck up with Jesus and understand what the fuck he's talking about. That motherfucker doesn't get Aaron fucking Rand sitting there jerking off Paul Ryan. What the fuck? That is Antichrist bullshit. It isn't your fucking Democrats. It isn't your fucking liberals. Yeah, your liberals want to take God out, but at the end of the day, they still do the right thing. They still do what God said accidentally. Yeah, Christians are not. Are Christians doing the right thing? No. Yeah, they're standing up for a fucking fetus, but you know what they're doing? Then they're shitting on the fucking baby when it comes out the womb. You can't take away... And not only are they taking away 24 million people's health care, but they're sitting there glorying in that shit and on Facebook and hitting the ha-ha-ha button. Like, oh, ha-ha-ha, Obamacare failed. Why the fuck would you laugh at that? Now, I understand, oh, the premiums went up. Okay, fine. Fine. But to sit there and revel and enjoy the fact that something that is supposed to help people failed, the fuck is wrong with you? The fuck is wrong with you? And just for the record, your little GOP pals, they could have made Obamacare better. They could have brought those premiums down for you. What did they do? They didn't give a fuck about you. They cared about their fucking master, their fucking handlers, the rich people who bought them off. So the rich people didn't have to pay for your health care and other people's health care. You know why it failed? It's because the fucking people, like, oh, I don't know, let's say the insurance company who wants to make a lot of fucking money at your expense, whether you're rich or poor, you're still paying the fucking premiums, you're still paying them fucking money. Yet how many times back before Obamacare did we see people go and say, well, little Johnny got cancer, oh gee, little Johnny's not covered. Yeah, but I paid my premiums. He ain't covered. Fuck it. How many times did we see that? Again, go watch the movie John Q with Denzel Washington. It's a great fucking movie. Then watch the special features and weep. Freaking bullshit. Yeah, nobody's got the heart to say that. Oh, we're big bad Christians. We're going to stand up for Jesus. Jesus looks at you and says, you're a fucking nit. Get the hell away from me. Get thee behind me, asshole. That's what he says to you. Get thee behind me, you fucking bastard. I paraphrase what he said. I mean, ad-libbed, if you will. Honest to God, you've got to be kidding me with this shit. If you're going to stand up for Jesus, and you stand up all the fucking way, asshole. You stand up all the fucking way. You don't sit there and jerk yourself off and be like, acting like you're something special. Because what you're doing is you're bastardizing the pulpit, you're bastardizing the faith, and you're basically bastardizing the weak Christians in your congregation who don't fucking know any better. Okay, you're sitting there telling them, oh, go watch Fox News. Yeah, guess what? Proper fucking ganda. Just like MSNBC. The only difference is it's got this slightly right tint to it. Okay? It's still proper fucking ganda. It's still proper fucking ganda. I stopped watching Fox News when I saw how they treated Romney. They hated Romney. They hated his guts. They couldn't stand him. Then he gets a nomination and they're like, well, he's not such a bad guy. You know? Romney Care could actually work. After they belittled the bejesus out of it. And again, you want to know why Obamacare didn't work? Because half the fucking Republican states didn't take the money. That's part of it. The rich CEOs of the insurance company wanted it to fail, so they raised your premiums and got you pissed off. Because, oh, now you're being covered, now you have to pay for mammograms even if you don't, actually have anything in mammogram. Okay, whatever. There was so many people trying to make that shit fail. The Republicans trying to make it fail instead of trying to make it work. Because, God forbid, Obama got some credit. Because, I mean, Jesus, God in the fucking morning. The balloons hadn't even dropped in 2008. And you got Mitch McConnell, little Muppet Mitch, sitting there in front of a microphone saying, oh, we're going to make him a one-term president. We're going to do everything we can. How the fuck? And you sit there and say, well, Obama didn't want to come to the table. How does Obama come to a fucking table? And I'm not saying he's completely innocent, but how does he come to a table when the first words out of your mouth are, we're going to do everything in our power to make him a one-term president? How do you engage people like that? How do you get things done with people who come at you at every twist and turn purposely? Now I understand, okay, fine, they're right, he's left, fine, I get it. That's politics. And that's to be expected. But when you're not even going to even give an inch, now I'm not saying compromise, but what would be better? Having Obamacare that hurts people as far as premiums go while helping other people, or Obamacare that lowers the premiums to help you have lower costs and helps people? What would be better? Well, what did they do? They didn't give two shits about you. They purposely tried to make the premiums go up so that you, as the people who are paying it, would get pissed. For 6 years, they did nothing to make it better. We're going to repeal it and replace it, repeal and replace it. Dude, what are you going to replace it with? Here's a news flash. Hillary Clinton in, 1992 was yakking about universal frickin' health care. That was over 25 fucking years ago, folks. That was over 25 freaking years ago. Yet, GOP have done shit. The Republicans have done shit with health care. Then they get into office, and within like a week, they're like, oh, here's our bill. Yay, here's our bill. Our Ayn Rand, Paul Ryan bullshit bill that they couldn't get the votes for. And of course, Trump is like, oh, we didn't know it was going to be this difficult. Oh. And then a week later, oh, here's our bill. Here's our bill. Pass it. Get it through. Come on, man. And you sit there and you're going to trash trash Nancy Pelosi for saying, oh, we got to pass it to see what's in it. That's the same damn thing these motherfuckers did. They did the exact same damn thing. The things that they bitched about Obama, they're doing themselves. And I find that disgusting. I find that disgusting on multiple freaking levels. Okay, fine. Let's say what you said about Obama, he was wrong in doing. How are you now right in doing it? Well, he did it, so I get to do it. No, that's not how it works, assholes. I mean, yeah, I can look and say, okay, maybe Obama was wrong. Maybe their people were wrong for pushing it through. Let's pass it to see what's in it. What is it, like corn? I mean, in the stool? What are we talking here? Okay. So, yeah, maybe they were wrong. I could say, yeah, you know what? They were wrong doing that. But then Republicans turn around and do it and act like, well, he was wrong, but we're right. That pisses me off on so many fucking levels, I can't even describe it proper. But yeah, they did nothing to make it better for the people who needed it. Nothing. They did zero. They could have brought those premiums down. There are ways. Even Obama said, yeah, there are ways we could do it. There are ways you could do it. Now, listen, I understand. I get you have to pay for it or you get penalized. I get that. I can understand it, but that was the point of it, so that you got people into it who are paying into it. And yes, that basically means the younger people who are healthier pay for the older people. That's the whole point. That's the way it always works. That's just the way it is. I'm not saying it's the best way. I'm not saying it's the only way. I'm just saying that's the way it is. So yeah, you had to have a penalty or get on the stupid program. Get involved. I understand people didn't like that. I get that. But guess what? We all get sick. We all have a pre-existing condition. It's called life. We're all going to fucking die. So, what do you do with that? What do you do with that? I don't know. All I know is that the Republican plan is bullshit. I mean, at least we know that Obama's plan at least worked in a sense it got people covered. At least it got some people covered. I mean, there were people who got covered. You can't deny that. Now, yeah, okay, premiums went up for the people who pay it. Fine. But there are ways to lower those premiums. There are. There absolutely are. I mean, shit, we give $1.2 trillion to Pakistan, who, by the way, hid bin Laden, okay, and we're giving them $1.2 trillion every year. There's $2 trillion that could go into our healthcare. I'm just saying that right off the fucking bat. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, you don't see that. No, nobody wants to say that. Because we gotta give them money for whatever fucking reason. Who the hell knows? So they ain't doing anything for us. But yet, I think basically we're paying them to keep the peace, essentially. I mean, whatever. But I get tired of it. I just get tired. Every time I go on Facebook, every time I turn on the TV, it's like constant, stupid bullshit. People can't be that stupid. I'm sorry, but yet I see it time and time again. And not only that, but they dig their heels in and they defend it. They defend it to the nth fucking degree. Yet, I don't see them defending Jesus like that. I see them defending their fucking political party. Christians are defending their political party with all their worth, yet somebody says, oh, Jesus sucks, and they're like, oh, okay, you're wrong, whatever. They don't give a damn. They stand up more for the fucking GOP than they do for Christ. That's wicked. That's wrong. That's bullshit. My little baby boy, he's such a cute little donkey. Come here. Right. Come here. Give daddy hugs. Give daddy. There you go. Get up close. There you go. Anyways. So, I think I'm done with this clip. I could go on for another hour, but I feel like crap. My nose is stuffed up. My nose has been stuffed. Dude, every time I lay down and do these clips, my nose gets stuffed up. I'm tired of doing nasally fucking clips. Yet the minute I end the clip, it's like all of a sudden my nasal passage, go back to normal. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you can tell. Does it sound nasally? I don't know. It's weird. Anyways. So yeah, that's another clip for today. Fuck you. That's it.